Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Choda. In this part 2 video, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail into Representative Scalise's comments about the current state of the stimulus negotiations, the current gridlock, and the Republican position about where things stand right now, and specifically comments about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. Now again, this is part 2 of the video, so make sure you check out part 1 as well. Stephen Scalise is in the United States House of Representatives. He's a minority whip leader, and he's a representative for Louisiana's first congressional district since 2008. So he's been doing it for well over 12 years now. And Scalise specifically said that the post office is a fabricated crisis by House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. He said that today in a Fox Business News interview. And basically what Scalise said is that this is really a fabricated crisis by the speaker. We had elections in Louisiana this weekend, and he said, I went and I voted in person on Saturday, and it was a smooth process. I had a sanitizer, a mask on, and he said there were no issues at all. And he said, however, if somebody wants to vote by mail, that's always been an option, and every state does it differently. He said what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has been trying to do long before the pandemic is mandate that every single person on voting rolls gets a ballot mailed to them. By the way, that's universal mail-in voting, just so that we are clear. That's what House Speaker Nancy Pelosi wants. And he said, as we know, no state has 100% accurate voting rolls. And he said, if you have millions of ballots just out there, who knows how the votes will come in. There could be registered people voting illegally. And he said that, people who aren't supposed to vote could end up voting. And he said that's not a safe system. That's not going to protect the integrity of the people who are voting legally. He said, so why don't we just make sure that the process works properly, not mailing ballots to everybody on the rolls, even people illegally on the rolls, because that would be ludicrous. So let's listen to what Scalise had to say. Let's roll the tape.
That's going to be taken care of regardless. It's about Nancy Pelosi just trying to grab more money and leveraging and holding families hostage and businesses hostage during this pandemic.
But part of it is about the mail-in ballots and universally collecting them that way as one potential option here. The administration has been very against it. They look to past elections and they bring up instances where we've seen voter fraud as a result of it. You've had so many people say, listen, there should be a mail-in option for those people who need it, as we've always seen. But we are opening up the economy. People are getting back out across the country. Why can't they physically go into a voting booth to vote and to sanitize hands and wear a mask? What's the big deal?
This is really a fabricated crisis by the speaker. Look, we had elections in Louisiana this weekend. I went and voted in person on Saturday, and it was a smooth process. There's sanitizer. I had a mask on. There were no issues at all with voting in person. However, if somebody wants to vote by mail, that's always been an option. And every state does it a little bit differently. But what Speaker Pelosi's been trying to do, again, long before the pandemic, is mandate that every single person on voting rolls gets a ballot mailed to them. And as we know, no state has 100% accurate voting rolls. And so if you have millions of ballots just out there, who knows where, and houses where they might have registered people illegally, they would get ballots. Yeah. That's not a safe system. That's not going to protect the integrity of people who are voting legally. So why don't we make sure that the process works properly? Not mailing ballots to everybody on the rolls, even people illegally on rolls, would be ludicrous.
So let me know in the comments section below if you think this is a fabricated crisis. As Scalise said about House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know what you think below. If you did learn something new, if you did get some new information here that you don't normally get, that you wouldn't normally get in the mainstream news, because I do believe the mainstream news is pretty one-sided, then I would really appreciate it if you click the like button below. Please subscribe and please enable notifications so you get instant updates from us going forward. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda with Ignition Time. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. So please make sure you're subscribed and you enable notifications so you get those updates. If you do want to get updates directly from us, get your cell phone out, type out the word ignition or type out the word time in the message window and send a text message to the number 70,000. That's 70000. You can also get added to our email list, and you can opt out of either the email list or the text message list at any time. I really appreciate you watching. My name is Dr. Nitin Choda. If you don't know anything about me, check out my story on the homepage of our channel. I've had the opportunity, the privilege, the honor of living the American dream. I believe I'm a symbol of American exceptionalism, and the American dream exists, and I can help you get there once we get through this crisis. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next video at Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.
you.